think she hates him.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Okay, so we can all
That's a
agree on
given.
that. That's a given. I also think that she wants to take him out.
I think it's a lot of misinformation out there about me. So that's why I said that I think it's the time that people hear from me.
The View is finally done, as they have just been sued into oblivion. These people on the show have been getting bolder since the first time Trump ran for president. Now that Trump has been sworn in for his second term, the ladies probably thought they could continue to say anything they wanted, but they are finding out that they can't. With more than 30 massive defamation lawsuits to their name, we might not be seeing the ladies for a while.
She does not want to be the first lady anymore.
They agree with you.
She doesn't want to be the first lady. She destroyed the Rose Garden. Who hates Christmas? Melania Trump hates Christmas. She doesn't want to decorate for Christmas. She doesn't want anything to do with him. She doesn't want to sleep in the same room with him. She can't tolerate him.
Allegedly.
And she does.
Yeah, how do you know all this?
Melania Trump has been the center of many rumors, but one recent situation has even led to legal action. As Donald Trump returns to the White House after being sworn in, Melania has been busy with all the arrangements to make sure the place suits their taste.
And my story, my perspective, and the truth.
We're about the truth on this show. Judge Jeanine, do you have a question? You've been very excited about this interview today.
I have so many questions, but I'll start with one that is clearly serious. The former president has survived 2 assassination attempts.
Lately, there's been talk that Melania might sue The View over some recent comments made by the hosts. The show is known for its bold opinions, with hosts from different backgrounds sharing their thoughts. Cost times, their views and issues are often unverified, and this makes it annoying to those involved. One of the hosts didn't hold back, saying, "I think she hates him. I also think she wants to take him out. She does not want to be the first lady anymore."
And Kamala's camp has just issued yesterday that they're going to go more negative. The Biden-Harris team continues with the negative rhetoric, whether it's Hitler or, he's tearing down democracy. Are you worried about your husband's safety in the next 29 days?
Of course I do. Yes, I do.
She went on to claim that Melania allegedly can't stand Donald and refuses to share a room with him. There is absolutely no human who would hear this about their marriage and not feel bad. Melania is human too, and this time around, she is not willing to keep quiet.
I think, when they call him he's a threat to democracy, let's ask ourselves, who is really a threat to democracy? They are ongoing with the lawfare against the former president, as well as, trying to get him off the voting ballots.
Now, reports say Melania is suing each host for $100 million. If this lawsuit moves forward, it might force the hosts to stop discussing her altogether, especially with her upcoming Amazon documentary, which promises a behind-the-scenes look at her life as First Lady.
And trying to, silence him. So, yes, of course, I was always afraid what can happen, and that they continuing with that kind of language is just, it's a toxic atmosphere.
However, the documentary is already facing controversy. Set to release later this year, it's being directed by Brett Ratner, a filmmaker who left Hollywood after facing multiple allegations of sexual misconduct during the Sir Me Too movement in 2017, though he denied the claims.
People want us divided, and they aren't just here in this country. They're foreign adversaries who are infiltrating our social media because it is prudent for us to stay that way. So when you see something that really pisses you off, you should triple check that one.
Elon Musk is reportedly another big name taking legal action against The View for defamation. Musk has been one of the main supporters of Trump throughout the campaign era. The president has even given him a suitable place in his administration, and The View has their thoughts about this as well.
Like the Blue Sky versus X, because a lot of people I follow on X, Twitter, have now left to go to Blue Sky. I worry we're all going into our own echo chamber. So we had this, this election that was tense. Donald Trump won, and the right is going to stay on X, and then the left is all going to be on Blue Sky. How do we try to talk to each other?
During a recent episode, Whoopi Goldberg made a bold claim suggesting that Musk, the billionaire behind Tesla and SpaceX, is actually Donald Trump's real vice president, not J.D. Vance.
Unfortunately, I will have to say, the other side, I think, has driven
people away because it's not just discourse. It's nasty name calling and coming after your family and I'm going to do this to you. And I don't think anyone should have to take that from anybody if they don't have to.
Goldberg stirred up even more discussion by arguing that Musk's influence goes beyond business, making him more like Trump's second in command. She even went as far as saying he should be forced to sell X because of his growing ties to the Trump administration.
So I think a lot of Republicans who also are getting that because they have opinions that may differ from what is being said, they're moving as well. Because, and I know why also, because, as I believe, Elon Musk is the actual vice president.
Goldberg argued that Musk, with his massive influence and decision-making power, is acting more like Trump's real vice president. She questioned why he isn't required to give up X, considering his growing involvement in Trump's plans. She also raised concerns about whether it's ethical for him to keep control of a major social media platform while playing a role in politics.
Who is in charge? Because I've been saying it for a while.
Yes, you have.
I've been saying that I think Elon Musk believes he's president. I do.
Well, you've been calling him vice president.
I've called him vice president. I called him president because I don't know what JD is doing. I hardly ever say, I don't remember the last time we even talked about JD.
Her comments came up during a discussion about liberals leaving X and moving to Blue Sky, a newer social media platform. Co-host Alyssa Farah Griffin noted that this shift is deepening the divide between the left and right online. Goldberg agreed, saying that many liberals left X because of the increasingly negative atmosphere, blaming conservative hostility for pushing them away. Elon Musk might be getting a bigger role in Trump's political plans. There's even talk of him leading the Department of Government Efficiency. Sounds fancy, right? But journalist Michelle Goldberg thinks it's worth questioning. After all, should one guy have so much power in both business and politics? Especially when he owns a major social media platform. Feels like a conflict of interest waiting to happen.
He's planning the presidency when they get rid of Trump.
So you think it's Musk Vance?
Possible.
Hey, you know who? Stay away from the stairways. Because, people put the leg out to trip you going down the stairs.
While these ladies are busy sharing their unsolicited opinions, they would soon be explaining to the jury how they came to that conclusion. We all have a right to air our thoughts, but defamation is not included in free speech. But if that wasn't wild enough, here comes Senator John Fetterman from Pennsylvania, the guy famous for rocking hoodies and shorts in Congress. He decided to stir the pot during his appearance on The View, the daytime talk show that turns every discussion into a full-blown soap opera. And let's just say things got messy.
I mean, he was kind, he was cordial. It wasn't in any kind of theater. It wasn't trying to get your picture taken to kind of put something out on social media. It was just really a conversation. I actually spoke for over an hour. And overall, my wife was there, and she might be watching right now at home.
Instead of jumping on the usual anti-Trump bandwagon, Senator John Fetterman dared to take on a different path. His boldness was shocking and not something anyone would expect from a Democrat.
And she was there as well, too, and we just had a conversation. And one of the things, can we agree on? Well, one of the things that was easy, like the Dreamers. The Dreamers, immigration, that. And Giselle was part of that community, and we both had the opportunity to express that.
Talking about Trump, he admitted, he's basically doing what he campaigned on. Fetterman, a Democrat, didn't dodge the truth. There are things I'll agree with and things I won't, but my job is to get wins for Pennsylvania and the country, and that means actually working with the president.
I would also, I'm on the Ag Committee, and I think protecting the SNAP as well, too. Food insecurity is really important issue. And some people on that side wants to go after that or weaponize that. So for me, those are kind of issues. Other things that we can agree on as well.
Wait a minute. Trump is actually doing what he said he would. That's wild. No wonder the hosts of The View, especially Sonny Hostin, were left speechless. And honestly, who could blame them? Reason discussion on that show is about as rare as bipartisan agreement in Congress.
But overall, it was just a straight up conversation, and I just have a rule. Like, I'm going to engage and have a conversation that's anyone playing it straight, and that's be doing my job again.
You did get a lot of criticism for it from some people who thought you going to Mar-a-Lago gives cover to Trump by creating the solution.
But there was Senator Fetterman, completely unfazed by the chaos, dropping truth bombs like he was teaching a high school civics class. When the judicial system gets weaponized to target political enemies, it erodes public trust in an institution that really matters, he said, cool as ever. Meanwhile, Hostin looked like her brain had just crashed. And to be fair, deep political philosophy isn't exactly the View's specialty. Let's just say Descartes isn't a name they bring up often.
That he's amenable to working with Democrats. I was very supportive of when people like Mitt Romney and Rob Portman worked with Joe Biden, so I understand the need for bipartisanship. I didn't love the optics of you going to Mar-a-Lago. He was going to, which is his palace.
But Fetterman wasn't backing down. He doubled down, calling Trump's trial in New York politically motivated and suggesting that if his last name weren't Trump, the case wouldn't have even gone to court. He didn't mince words, calling the whole thing unjust. The trial in New York was politically motivated. He said, if it were someone else, this wouldn't have been prosecuted.
But what was your goal, and do you feel ultimately you were successful?
That's when Sonny Hostin, a former CNN legal analyst, jumped in with some sarcasm. Oh, you mean the 34-count case where Trump was found guilty of financial crimes? That one? She said. Clearly, she wasn't buying what Fetterman was selling. Fetterman wasn't having any of it. He hit back hard. The judicial system can't be weaponized to target political enemies for gain, he said. Whether it's a Democrat going after a Republican or a Republican going after a Democrat. I like to call it like it is because the judicial system has to stay neutral. That's the foundation of our society.
Here's what happened. I was being lazy on the couch like Friday night, and my team reached out saying, hey, and I don't know if this is like a trolling or a hoax, but they extended an invitation.
Not one to shy away from stirring the pot, Fetterman also addressed rumors about him switching parties. No, I'm not joining the Republican team, he joked. I'd make a pretty terrible Republican, pro-choice, pro-immigration, pro-LGBTQ. Yeah, I don't think I'd fit in. You've got to give Mr. Fetterman credit for embracing the chaos and sticking to his own style. It's honestly hard to imagine him in khakis and a button-up shaking hands at some fancy country club event.
You know, for me, engaging the president, I think when you're in this business, I mean, that's part of the job. Any more you would criticize Governor Newsom, that received the president there after the fires in California. They are going to find a way to work together. I mean, that's where we are.
But lately, he's been making moves that have raised some eyebrows across the political spectrum. He's taken a trip to Trump's Mar-a-Lago and has even been talking with Republican colleagues. That doesn't mean he's the new champion of bipartisanship, but it does make him one of the most unique figures in politics today. In a world where politicians are usually split into Team Red or Team Blue, Mr. Fetterman's mixing it up with a bit of purple.
And I hope maybe you are watching, are tired of just like the venom and the hate. And it's like, I'd like more bipartisan kinds of things. And you are going to agree with things and you're going to disagree on things. And I'm going to pick my fights.
While Mr. Fetterman may not be switching parties anytime soon, you have to admit his ability to keep everyone on their toes is pretty entertaining. Whether he's shutting down the women of The View or playing 4D chess next to Mr. Trump in Florida, he's definitely not sticking to anyone's playbook. Love him or hate him, he's definitely spicing up politics. Meanwhile, the ladies of The View will probably need some chamomile tea to recover. Cheers to Mr. Fetterman. The unpredictable wildcard Capitol Hill never saw coming.
I've chosen not to add to the cheap heat online or go after those kinds of things. I've never found that helpful. And if those kinds of things were helpful, we would be in a different situation. We'd be the ones making those kinds of decisions with the new administration with then Vice President Harris.
The president was totally pleased after meeting with Fetterman. Trump described him as a common sense person, and from all indications, the duo are set to work together for the good of Pennsylvania and the nation.
Well, Senator, Trump's pardoning of roughly 1,500 January 6th rioters on his first day back in office is still reverberating. And when we last spoke with you in December, you were critical of Joe Biden having just pardoned his son, Hunter. So although President Trump ran on doing this, there was a discrepancy in a lot of people in his inner circle said he wouldn't do it for violent offenders.
Meanwhile, Carrie Underwood wasn't too happy with what The View had been saying about her. Instead of letting it go, the singer decided to take action and filed a lawsuit against the hosts. Now, the question is, how will the ladies handle this?
You know the words, help me out here. Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain.
Carrie's decision was sparked by some controversial remarks made by host Joy Behar during a mid-January 2025 segment, where she questioned Carrie's loyalty to the US after the singer agreed to perform America the Beautiful at Donald Trump's inauguration on January 20th, 2025.
Right now, I wouldn't do it, even though I can't sing. You would not sing? No, I would not. I would not normalize him. And she says, I love our country. How do you love your country and support and normalize somebody who was a convicted felon who really wants to destroy the country, in my opinion? I don't understand how you say you love your country at the same time as you normalize this convicted felon, which I can say now every day.
Underwood is one of the most popular musicians right now, with 13 million followers on Instagram. After Joy's comments, some outlets started saying Carrie was being canceled, which might explain why she didn't seem too happy about the situation. Even though some people voiced their anger over Carrie agreeing to perform at Trump's inauguration in her post comments, she still has 13 million followers on Instagram, proving she hasn't really been canceled after all.
My family voted for Trump. They love the country and vote for him. I think that people make these decisions for a lot of reasons.
Okay, fine. And I would not be the person to say don't do it, because I believe in free speech and everything about it. I personally would not do it. No one's asked me, but that's another story.
I would love for you to do a roast at the Trump inauguration.
In mid-January 2025, Joy sparked controversy on The View when she criticized Carrie for claiming to love her country but agreeing to perform at Trump's 2025 inauguration. Joy joked, "How can you love your country and support someone who was a convicted felon and wants to destroy it, in my opinion? I don't get how you can say you love your country while supporting him."
Okay. Oh, no one else had any
So there we
thoughts?
No, we've had people like Reba McEntire come on and say that, she doesn't want to talk about politics. She just wants to sing, she wants to perform, she wants to make people feel good. And I respect that. And then we've had people like Dolly Parton, and I think you asked her,
Are you a feminist?
Are you a feminist? And she said,
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Though Joy made it clear she wouldn't stop anyone from performing, she personally wouldn't have agreed to do it. Whoopi Goldberg, not a fan of Trump herself, didn't have a problem with Carrie's decision to perform. Of course, the comment sparked controversy, with both sides, left and right, joining the debate. What do you think will happen to The View after these many lawsuits? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.